We have all been told to protect our accounts with complex passwords, throwing in numbers, capital letters, and special symbols. But against modern digital threats, those clever combinations are effectively useless. Hackers no longer sit at a keyboard guessing your pet's name. They deploy AI-driven brute force attacks. A brute force attack is a trial-and-error hacking method where automated scripts systematically guess every possible password combination until one works. This cracker processes data at machine speed, testing millions of combinations in a fraction of a second. Replacing A with @ or S with a $sign won't protect you. These standard substitutions are mathematically predictable, and algorithms are programmed to recognize them instantly. To a human, a word like password1 looks confusing and tough to crack. To an algorithm, it is a basic, highly recognizable pattern that takes almost zero computational effort to bypass. The Verizon Data Breach Investigation for Court, an annual industry publication analyzing global cybersecurity incidents, found that stolen credentials are the primary entry point for hackers, involved in nearly half of all data breaches. Standard passwords offer little more than a few milliseconds of resistance against a tireless, automated adversary. When we create passwords, human nature gets in the way. We want to be able to log in quickly, so convenience almost always overrides security, leading us to recycle the same few phrases. This animation illustrates the mechanics of credential stuffing. Credential stuffing is an attack where hackers take a password leaked from one old, forgotten website and use it to breach your current email, bank, and social media accounts. Threat actors deploy automated botnets, networks of compromised devices controlled by a central attacker, to test these stolen username and password pairs across thousands of websites simultaneously. They also rely on dictionary attacks, which systematically input thousands of common words from the dictionary. These specifically target predictably short passwords that use common names, like significant dates, or simple keyboard walks, like QWERTY. Human predictability and password reuse provide the exact fuel these algorithms need. These behavioral flaws allow automation to scale attacks from targeting a single individual to executing mass breaches. To defeat these algorithms, we have to change the math. The most effective countermeasure is prioritizing extreme character length over confusing complexity. This chart shows the time required to crack a password as its character length increases. It highlights the power of a passphrase, a sequence of random, unrelated words that is easy for a human to remember, but adds trillions of possible permutations that a machine must compute. A standard 8-character password packed with symbols and numbers can be cracked in milliseconds. But extend that length to a 20-character passphrase, and the computational time required to guess it skyrockets. Stringing together just 4 unrelated dictionary words creates a cryptographic barrier with so many potential permutations that it exceeds current computing power to calculate them all. Shifting from short, complex passwords to long passphrases changes the dynamic of the fight. Instead of playing a losing game of complexity, you weaponize time against the attacker, forcing their systems into a war of attrition they cannot win. Even a passphrase of infinite length has a critical weakness. If the company storing your passphrase experiences a data breach and leaks its database in plain text, your long string of words is instantly compromised. Attackers can also just ask you for it. Phishing and social engineering attacks manipulate human psychology, often through fake emails or urgent messages, to bypass technical defenses entirely and convince you to willingly hand over your credentials. Relying solely on something you know, like a passphrase, represents a dangerous single point of failure. In an era where AI can generate highly convincing, personalized phishing lures, keeping a secret is no longer enough. In an MFA architecture, a data packet must clear a primary password gate, then verify itself at a secondary checkpoint. This second layer requires 2 separate forms of identification tied to something you physically possess, like an authenticator app or biometric data. This entirely neutralizes the threat of credential stuffing. Even if a botnet perfectly guesses your passphrase, that stolen text alone is mathematically insufficient to grant access without the physical device in your hand. This dual-layer approach forms the foundation of a zero-trust philosophy for your personal digital identity. Zero Trust is a security framework that assumes no user or device is safe by default, requiring continuous, strict verification for every access request. Combining the mathematical length of a passphrase with multi-factor verification makes unauthorized access both computationally and practically impossible.